Couple seconds. All right, go ahead.
You ready here?
Yeah.
Okay, hi, my name is Chip, and Mickey, you want to come on around here?
All right.
Yourselves.
I'm Mickey Bussin, and we're here at the Nerve Center of Open Air Campaigners USA. We've got the shop behind us here and the main office here. And so Chip's going to show you how you can put together a sketchboard kit that will help you to be able to do sketchboard preaching. So Chip, take it away.
All right, thanks, Mick. Okay, as you can see, I've got a lot of the things laid out here already on the back of the board. Now you're going to receive your leg kit, and you're going to have all the hardware necessary for you to be able to build a sketchboard like the one we use on the street. Now if I mess up at any point in time during this presentation, we're not going to stop the recording. We're going to continue on. I'll correct myself, and then we're going to continue on. But what I want to do is give you a hands-on on how to do this, so that any of you guys out there that are not shop-minded or mechanical, you should still be able to do this yourself. Now you are going to need a few tools. And all right, Mick wants to show you what the back of the one's going to look like before we even get started here. This is the end product. This is what it should look like, and we even have a picture of that on the back of the instructions, you know, so that when you're done, you've got your instructions. They came in your box of hardware, and as we go through this, you know, you should rely also on the written instructions as well as the tutorial that we're going to be doing here today. One of the things that you're going to have to do is get yourself a set of horses to set your plywood up on, and then you're also going to have a little bit of a workbench to work off your tools and your hardware from. Now, like it says on the instructions, you should have an electric drill or a battery pack drill, which is going to work better so you're not tethered to something. You're going to need a 1/4-inch drill bit in the drill. You're going to need a screwdriver, a Phillips head. You're also going to need a pair of pliers. You're going to need a tape measure and a pencil. You're going to need a hammer, and you're going to need a nail or an awl in order to be able to start some of your holes before you drill them. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, I already have laid out some of the things on the back of the board. This section right here, as you'll see in your instructions, that's step one. That's mounting the center leg. Now that's the hinged leg. And the way you want to have that laid out is you want to take that leg as it's facing away from you, and you want to put the rubber tip leg, that bottom section is going to be toward you, not away from you like that. It's going to be toward you this way. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to lay that out just like that. As you can see, the bracket is already attached to the upper leg section. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your tape measure and your pencil. You're going to measure up from the bottom of the piece of plywood 37 inches. Get everything out of your way. You're going to mark at 37 inches right there. The next thing you're going to do is measure over from the left side or the right side 2 feet, because this is going to be centered. So you've got your crosshairs are going to be right there at 37 up and 24 over from either side. That's where you're going to drill your first hole. Now I have a recommendation for you here, that you take an old block of wood or something like that to place under before you make your first hole, or any of your holes that you're going to drill. Take the block, put it underneath, set your drill bit right there, and then drill that hole. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to splinter out the board on the other side. It'll make a much cleaner job for you if you do it that way. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your bracket off of this leg right here. That'll slide right out, and there you've got your bracket, you've got your nut, and you've got your bolt that's going to go through there in a second. Now what you want to do is you want to get a T-nut, and you're going to get one of these shorter bolts that are going to go through there. So here's how this is going to go. Take your T-nut, you're going to place that from underneath the board.
Let me see the T-nut again. I wasn't able to zoom in on that.
You'll be able to see all the T-nuts. They're all in the bag.
See what that is.
You have ample enough of the T-nuts in there.
All right.
It's got some little burrs on it. So you're going to place that underneath there. Push it up a little bit. Kind of hold on to the things on top because it's going to bounce. Put your hand over that and hammer it up in. Once that's in place, this is what you're going to do. You're going to take the T-nut and the large washer. It's the only washer that's going to be in your kit. place the washer right over that hole. Take your bracket. You're going to put that little short screw that's in there. Grab your screwdriver. And now you're going to tighten that down. That bolt's going to go right through there. You're going to tighten that down pretty snug. One thing I do recommend that you do at this point in time is before you even screw that down there, what you can do is you can buy some Loctite. And the red is the best. And once you get that Loctite in there, you squirt a little bit on that nut before you put it down in there, or the bolt before you put it in there, and it'll hold securely. After a lot of years of use, what's going to happen is this is going to begin to wear, and it's going to start to loosen up on you. You may have to tighten it periodically. So what you're going to do though, if you put that Loctite on there, it's going to help it to last a little bit longer for you.
That's a glue?
What's that?
That's a glue?
No, Loctite is it's not a glue. What it is, it's used in bolts that go like in engines and things like that, so that the bolts, anything that vibrates, so that the nut or the bolt cannot wear, they can't you know, vibrate away from each other. So that's just going to help you over the years, you know, to keep those things nice and tight. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take that top leg section and you're going to lay it down into the bracket. And then all you do is you take that bolt that you've got, the one that came right in the bracket, and slide it through, line those holes up. You're going to slide that straight through there like that and put the nut on the end. This is where you're going to need your set of pliers. Take your pliers, grab a hold of that nut, go ahead and tighten down. Now you do want to tighten down pretty good on this, as much as possible. Again, just so things don't wear on you. Over years and use, depending on how often you use your sketchboard, you're probably going to have to tighten this down periodically. So that's what you're going to want to do with that. Okay, I made a mistake, and what needs to happen is I need to change this around. So here's what we're going to do. You may have to do the same thing. It's just a matter of taking this bolt back out. If you've already gotten this far, I don't know, maybe we edited this. I don't know if we did or not. We're just going to turn this around. So actually the rubber tip is going to go up away from the board, away from the bottom. Then you're going to slide that screw back in there. Sometimes you got to wiggle things around a little bit because the holes are pretty tight.
So you want the rubber tip to fold out.
The rubber tip is now going to go to the top of the board, not to the bottom. Just go ahead and tighten that back down. Again, you want to get this pretty tight. You want to use a pair of pliers, or you want to use a ratchet or opener and wrench, whatever you have available. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the other bracket. This bracket right here, this is one that only has one hole in it, another short bracket. You know, this is called bracket F. What you're going to do is you're going to measure on your board. You're going to measure 21 inches up from the bottom and make a line, and then 12 inches over from the left side. That's if you're at the bottom of your sketchboard. And that's where you're going to put your crosshairs, right there. You want to go ahead and drill your hole there. Again, try to get a piece of block of wood underneath it if possible, so you don't splinter things out. Try not to drill through your hand when you do this. It makes a much cleaner job when you use a block of wood. Now you want to take another one of your T-nuts, place that inside that hole, put your hand over top there and pound it in. Take another one of these shortest screws that you have there. Go ahead and place it in that hole. and then tighten it down. Then you want to make this pretty snug, because you can make any adjustments that need to be made with your screwdriver. Take your center leg set right now, and now what you want to do is you want to line up that bracket with this leg that has the tip on it. If they don't line up, take your screwdriver, place it in like that, and then just twist a little bit. See, now it lines up. Now what you want to do is you want to snap that leg right into that bracket. That bracket has already been pre-compressed so that it'll hold that leg tight in there. Now you can see your center leg kit is all ready to go. Next thing you want to do...
It's not hanging over the side, right?
It's not hanging over the side. If that's hanging over the edge, then you've placed that bracket in the wrong position. So that should be inside here like that.